This video is about famous Hollywood celebrities and people who passed away from March to April in 2007 in the United States. Before we proceed, please subscribe to our channel to support us. Betty Hutton. She was born in February 1921 and she died in March 2007. Her age was 86 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death were complications of colon cancer. Betty Hutton was an exuberant singer-actress who rose to fame in the 1940s with musicals and comedies like The Miracle of Morgan's Creek. She passed away from colon cancer complications in Palm Springs. Kitty Carlisle. She was born in September 1910 and she died in April 2007. Her age was 96 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was congestive heart failure. Kitty Carlisle Hart was a stalwart of the performing arts, was known for her elegance and wit on the quiz show To Tell the Truth. She died of congestive heart failure after battling pneumonia. Dabbs Greer. He was born in April 1917 and he died in April 2007. His age was 90 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was kidney and heart diseases. Dabbs Greer was a veteran character actor whose roles spanned decades, including the beloved Rev Alden on The Little House on the Prairie. He passed away due to kidney and heart disease. Calvert DeForest. He was born in July 1921 and he died in March 2007. His age was 85 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was long illness. Calvert DeForest, known for his quirky persona Larry Bud Melman, was a beloved fixture on Late Night with David Letterman. He died after a prolonged illness. Tom Poston. He was born in October 1921 and he died in April 2007. His age was 85 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was respiratory failure. Tom Poston was an American actor appearing in television roles from the 1950s through the early mid-2000s, reportedly appearing in more sitcoms than any other actor. In the 1980s, he played George Utley on the CBS sitcom Newhart, receiving 3 Emmy Award nominations for the role. In addition, he had a number of film roles and appeared frequently on Broadway and television game shows. Roscoe Lee Brown. He was born in May 1922 and he died in April 2007. His age was 84 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was stomach cancer. Roscoe Lee Brown was an American actor and director. He resisted playing stereotypically black roles, instead performing in several productions with New York City's Shakespeare Festival Theater, Leland Hayward's satirical NBC series That Was the Week That Was, and a poetry performance tour of the United States, in addition to his work in television and film. Gordon Scott. He was born in August 1926 and he died in April 2007. His age was 80 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death were complications from heart surgeries. Gordon Scott was an American film and television actor known for his portrayal of the fictional character Tarzan in 5 films of the Tarzan film series from 1955 to 1960. Gordon Scott was the 11th Tarzan, starting with Tarzan's Hidden Jungle in 1955. Barry Nelson. He was born in April 1917 and he died in April 2007. His age was 89 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Barry Nelson was the first actor to portray James Bond in the 1954 television adaptation of Casino Royale. With MGM, Nelson made his screen debut in the role as Paul Clark in Shadow of the Thin Man in 1941. He passed away while traveling in Pennsylvania. Richard Janney. He was born in April 1957 and he died in March 2007. His age was 49 at the time of his death, and he took his own life. Richard Janney was an American stand-up comedian and actor known for his energetic performances. Bob Clark. He was born in August 1939 and he died in April 2007. His age was 67 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was car accident. Bob Clark was an American film director and screenwriter. In the 1970s and 1980s, he was responsible for some of the most successful films in Canadian film history, such as Black Christmas in 1974, He won a trio of Genie Awards, 2 Best Direction and 1 Best Screenplay, with 2 additional nominations. Luther Ingram. He was born in November 1937 and he died in March 2007. His age was 69 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was heart failure. Luther Ingram was a soul singer who captivated audiences with his emotive voice, most notably in his hit, "If Loving You Is Wrong, I Don't Want to Be Right." He succumbed to a heart attack. Bobby Pickett. He was born in February 1938 and he died in April 2007. His age was 69 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was leukemia. Bobby Boris Pickett was an American singer, songwriter, and comedian. He is best known for co-writing and performing the 1962 smash hit novelty song Monster Mash. Mark St. John. He was born in February 1956 and he died in April 2007. His age was 51 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was brain hemorrhage. Mark St. John was an American guitarist, best known for his brief stint with the hard rock band Kiss from April to November 1984. He passed away at the age of 51 due to a brain hemorrhage. Brad Delp. He was born in June 1951 and he died in March 2007. His age was 55 at the time of his death and he took his own life. Brad Delp was an American musician who was the original lead singer and frontman of the rock band Boston. He began collaborating with leader Tom Scholz in 1970 and appeared on every album except Walk On in 1994, and also participated in every tour prior to his death in 2007. Tommy Newsom. He was born in February 1929 and he died in April 2007. His age was 78 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was bladder and liver cancer. Tommy Newsom was a talented saxophonist and band leader, affectionately nicknamed Mr. Excitement. On The Tonight Show, he died of cancer in his hometown of Portsmouth. Don Ho. He was born in August 1930 and he died in April 2007. His age was 76 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was heart failure. Don Ho was a Hawaiian musician and entertainer, famous for his signature song, Tiny Bubbles. He died at the age of 76 from heart failure. David Halberstam. He was born in April 1934 and he died in April 2007. His age was 73 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was car accident. David Halberstam was an American writer, journalist, and historian known for his work on the Vietnam War, politics, history, and the civil rights movement, business media, American culture, Korean War, and later sports journalism. He won a Pulitzer Prize for international reporting in 1964. Jack Valenti. He was born in September 1921 and he died in April 2007. His age was 85 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death were complications from stroke. Jack Valenti was an American political advisor and lobbyist who served as a special assistant to United States President Lyndon B. Johnson. He was also the longtime president of the Motion Picture Association of America. During his 38 years tenure in the MPAA, he created the MPAA film rating system and was generally regarded as one of the most influential pro-copyright lobbyists in the world. Thomas Eagleton. He was born in September 1929 and he died in March 2007. His age was 77 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was respiratory and heart complications. Thomas Eagleton was an American lawyer who served as a United States Senator from Missouri from 1968 to 1987. He was briefly the Democratic Vice President nominee under George McGovern in 1972. He died at age 77 due to heart and respiratory complications. Kurt Vonnegut. He was born in November 1922 and he died in April 2007. His age was 84 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death were complications from brain injuries. Kurt Vonnegut was an American author known for his satirical and darkly humorous novels. His published work includes 14 novels, 3 short story collections, 5 plays, and 5 non-fiction works over 50-plus years. Further works have been published since his death. Juanita Millender McDonald. She was born in September 1938 and she died in April 2007. Her age was 68 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was cancer. Juanita Millender McDonald was an American politician who served as a member of the United States House of Representatives from 1996 until her death in 2007, representing California's 37th Congressional District, which includes most of South Central Los Angeles and the city of Long Beach, California. She was a member of the Democratic Party. Thomas Stoltz Harvey. He was born in October 1912 and he died in April 2007. His age was 94 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death were complications from a stroke. Thomas Stoltz Harvey was an American pathologist who conducted the autopsy on Albert Einstein in 1955. Harvey afterwards preserved Einstein's brain on the condition that it would be studied for scientific purposes. Johnny Hart. He was born in February 1931 and he died in April 2007. His age was 76 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was stroke. Johnny Hart was an American cartoonist, noted as the creator of the comic strips BC and the Wizard of ID. Grant Parker co-produced and illustrated The Wizard of ID. Hart was recognized with several awards, including the Swedish Adamson Award and 5 from the National Cartoonists Society. Seong Hui Cho. He was born in January 1984 and he died in April 2007. His age was 23 at the time of his death and he took his own life. Seong Hui Cho was a South Korean mass murderer who was responsible for the Virginia Tech shooting in 2007. Cho killed 32 people and wounded 17 others with 2 semi-automatic pistols on April 16, 2007 at Virginia Tech in Blacksburg, Virginia. This killing was the deadliest school shooting in the United States history and was, at the time, the deadliest mass shooting in the United States history. Bob Hattoy. He was born in November 1950 and he died in March 2007. His age was 56 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was AIDS-related causes. Bob Hattoy was an American activist known for his outspoken advocacy on AIDS and environmental issues. He died of AIDS-related causes at 56. Ronald Spears. He was born in April 1920 and he died in April 2007. His age was 86 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Ronald Spears was a United States Army officer, renowned for his service during the Second World War, notably portrayed in the HBO miniseries Band of Brothers. He died in Montana at age 86. Gilbert E. Patterson. He was born in September 1939 and he died in March 2007. His age was 67 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was heart failure. Gilbert E. Patterson was an American holiness, Pentecostal leader and pastor. He served as the founding pastor of the Temple of Deliverance, COGIC, Cathedral of Bountiful Blessings, one of the largest COGIC churches in the eastern United States from 1975 to 2007. Christopher Barrios Jr. He was born in January 2001 and he died in March 2007. His age was 6 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was murder. Christopher Barrios Jr. was a 6-year-old American boy who was raped and murdered by 3 neighbors in Brunswick, Georgia on March 8, 2007. His body was discovered on March 15, 2007, just a few miles from where he had disappeared. Abe Coleman. He was born in September 1905 and he died in March 2007. His age was 101 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was kidney failure. Abe Coleman was a Polish professional wrestler, promoter, and referee, known by the ring names Abe Coleman, Hebrew Hercules, and Jewish Tarzan. At the time of his death, Coleman was believed to be the oldest professional wrestler in the world and the only known wrestler to live past the age of 100 years. Alan Koch, he was born in October 1943 and he died in March 2007. His age was 63 at the time of his death and the reason for his death was heart attack. Alan Koch, also known as the Bad News Brown, was an American judoka and professional wrestler. He won medals for the United States at several international judo competitions, including the heavyweight bronze medal at the 1976 Summer Olympics. Ernie Ladd, he was born in November 1938 and he died in March 2007. His age was 68 at the time of his death and the reason for his death was colon cancer. Ernie Big Cat Ladd was an American professional football defensive tackle and professional wrestler. A standout athlete at high school, Ladd attended Grambling State University on a basketball scholarship before being drafted in 1961 by the San Diego Chargers of the American Football League. Bowie Kuhn, he was born in October 1926 and he died in March 2007. His age was 80 at the time of his death and the reason for his death was respiratory failure due to pneumonia. Bowie Kuhn served as the commissioner of Major League Baseball for 15 years, overseeing significant changes in the sport. He died from respiratory failure after battling pneumonia. Eric Medlin, he was born in August 1973 and he died in March 2007. His age was 33 at the time of his death and the reason for his death was heart injuries from racing accident. Eric Medlin was an American NHRA fuel funny car driver. Medlin drove for John Force Racing in 2004, 2005 and 2006, campaigning in the Castrol synthetic Ford Mustang fuel funny car, and in 2007 campaigning in the Auto Club Pleasant Holiday Ford Mustang fuel funny car. He had a total of 6 career wins. Eddie Robinson, he was born in February 1919 and he died in April 2007. His age was 88 at the time of his death and the reason for his death was Alzheimer's disease. Eddie Robinson was an American college football and basketball coach for 56 years from 1941 to 1942 and again from 1945 to 1997. He was the head coach at the Grambling State University, historically black university in Grambling, Louisiana. Darrell Stingley, he was born in September 1951 and he died in April 2007. His age was 55 at the time of his death and the reason for his death were complications from quadriplegia. Darrell Stingley was an American professional football player who was a wide receiver for 5 seasons with the New England Patriots for the National Football League. His career was ended at the age 26 by an on-field spinal cord injury. Bill Fisk, he was born in November 1916 and he died in March 2007. His age was 90 at the time of his death and the reason for his death was not publicly disclosed. Bill Fisk was an American football player and coach. He played professionally as an end and defensive end in the National Football League and All-America Football Conference from 1940 to 1948. Thanks for watching the video. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Have a nice day.